Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Wow. Well, as usual, there is a lot to get into today. With ICE, with Iran, what's happening in Minnesota. In fact, let's catch up on what happened overnight. Overnight, an ICE officer was attacked when he tried to apprehend a Venezuelan national. Venezuelan national hit him in the face with a shovel.
Snow shovel, yeah.
Ambushed him with a shovel.
And then some other people showed up there, and two other people at least were apprehended because they had joined in with like broomsticks and stuff.
Oh, geez. Were these like just bystanders?
That's what I think. So, yeah, exactly. They weren't even a part of the. I think they came out of an apartment or something.
So they're helping the illegal alien.
Oh yeah.
The criminal. Wow.
Yeah.
So anyway, the officer ended up shooting the suspect in the leg, and I'm wondering if that's because of all of the uproar over the shooting last week. I would, because they're taught, law officers, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're listening, but law enforcement is trained to shoot center mass, right?
Yeah.
To definitely put a suspect down. They don't tell you, shoot in the leg, shoot him in the arm, because that leads to missing them, and it leads to your life being in danger.
Yeah, and I don't know what the body disposition was. I don't know if they were struggling. Maybe, that was maybe a gun went off. I seriously just don't know.
But the illegal alien had help from potentially U.S. citizens. We don't know who they were. Right. But that is unbelievable. Also, 2 ICE vehicles were broken into and looted.
Yeah, there's a video of these protesters going through warrants. There's ICE warrants scattered about, and they're collecting them. That's not good.
No.
Now, I thought that these were warrantless, though. In fact, even Tim Walz said last night, clearly they're not. If they were looted out of vehicles, that guy.
So this remains a really tense situation. We'll get into more coming up here, but Iran is really a hot spot right now as well, obviously. Lots of different wildly varying reports on how many have been killed. But yesterday in the Oval Office, President Trump talked about Iran, and this was an unusual tone from him.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping. It's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it.
Okay.
That's a different Trump than we've heard the rest of this week, right?
Oh, yeah, it is.
I do have this that I just saw. U.S. strike on Iran was called off at last minute last night, according to military analyst Amir Bobat. I don't know. Donald Trump personally intervened late last night to halt a planned U.S. strike on Iran. Officials could not guarantee regime collapse.
Did we check the pizza?
Yeah.
Was the pizza being ordered?
It was spiked last night, and the gay bars were dry.
Wow.
So officials could not guarantee regime collapse after a strike and warned that the U.S. may lack sufficient regional assets to counter a major Iranian retaliation. So therefore, there was no strike without this certainty. That's the report from Amir Bobat.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And now Iranian airspace. I mean, last night, I don't know if I sent this in or not, but I mean, it was closed. Now it's reopened. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you tweeted about it last night, Pat.
Yeah, well, of course. You don't have to tell me that.
Yeah. Well, you look kind of like, I was like, was closed? I'm like, yeah, you tweeted about it.
Right. Yeah. I knew that.
You knew that.
Sure, of course. Of course I know I tweeted. I'm the one tweeting. So
it is your name on the account.
Yes. That's right.
Just like on the wall. That is your name on the wall.
And it's why they call me Mr. Twitter.
Yes.
Which is sort of dead naming me because I'm Mr. X now.
Mr. X. I like it.
Pat Gray leaning to that. Mr. X.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is a cool title, frankly. It sounds mysterious, doesn't it?
And
Mr.
that's who
X.
you are.
Yeah, I am.
You're a very mysterious human.
So mysterious.
You're so mysterious.
Really hard to get a beat on where I am on a lot of different things.
Thank you. How about time you admitted that?
Right. Yeah. So what is going on in Iran? Why'd they call off the strike? I mean, Could it be that we need to shore up our bases because they're going to get attacked? So we need to shore them up first because we'd be anticipating a retaliation strike from Iran. I don't know. Maybe our allies want to get their people out before. Maybe we're concerned that somebody else has something to do with what's going on. Maybe they're stopping. I don't know. Maybe the threat of violence was enough after they saw what happened last summer. That could be. I mean, there's so many possibilities. There's Iranians who were saying, I mean, the foreign minister went on Fox with Brett Baer, and had this to say.
We consider these 3 days, 8 January to 10, which we faced with a vast terrorism operation as the continuation of 12-day war that were imposed on us by Israelis and Americans. So the 13th day of war was 8 January. That was the continuation of the war. So we were in the middle of the war. And now, after 3 days of terrorist operation, now there is a calm. We are in full control. And let's, hope that wisdom would prevail and we don't go for a high level of tension, which could be disastrous for everybody.
Especially you.
Okay, so that's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He's saying that he just mentioned Israel and the U.S., right? Terrorist operation inside their country, a continuation of that 12-day war.
And he had more.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to who he blames for the violence.
Okay.
For one reason, they wanted to increase the number of deaths. Why? Because President Trump has said that if there are killings, he would intervene. And they wanted to drag him into this conflict. And that was exactly an Israeli plot. They wanted to drag the President of the United States in this conflict. So they started to increase the number of deaths by killing ordinary people, by killing police officers, by starting a kind of, fighting inside the different cities.
Mr. Foreign Minister, you're saying that these killings, these deaths are at the hands of foreign elements inside your country, not by the Iranian regime. That's not what we're being told when we get people to talk to us on the ground. The internet has been shut off, but occasionally turns back on, and we do hear from people on the ground who tell us various stories. Witnesses spoke of seeing snipers positioned on rooftops in downtown Tehran, firing into crowds of peaceful protests, turning abruptly into scenes of carnage, panic as bullets pierced through people's heads and torsos, sending bodies toppling to the ground, and an emergency room treating 19 gunshot patients in a single hour. The regime is on a killing spree, said one protester, and we've seen the video of body bags stacking up. You were saying that all of this is because you're not in control of your country and foreign elements are killing people inside your country?
No, I'm telling you that it was a fighting between our security forces and terrorist elements who had a plan to create a big number of killings in order to provoke President Trump to enter into this conflict and start a new war against Iran. And that was exactly an Israeli plot. The footages that you mentioned have not been seen in Iran. I have to tell you that a misinformation campaign is going on at the same time.
And you're suggesting that it's Israel and Mossad acting like Iranian forces, shooting the Iranian people to make casualties to spur on the action of President Trump. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that don't believe that, Mr. Foreign Minister.
No, Mossad has already confessed that.
They may be on the ground, sir, but as far as them killing hundreds and hundreds of people to make it look like you did, it does not appear in the video that we get out.
Yeah. So
I mean,
that's a little parsing at the end. Yeah, but
here's the thing. Who knows what to believe?
Right.
We know Iranians are lying sacks. The Iranian government lies all the time. We know that they're deceptive. We know that, and it's part of their creed that they can lie if it helps them in some way, right? Isn't that we learned that some time ago?
Yeah.
But also, the Mossad does do incredible things. I'm hopeful, and I'm inclined to believe that they're not doing this because this is beyond the pale.
That would be a color revolution.
It would be,
continue.
Terrific. I mean, it's. To me, that would be war crime like, and I would lose. They would lose my my support, my respect. Not that they care about that, but
and Brett Baer, he referenced it there at the end that yes, Mossad has admitted that they're on the ground.
Yeah.
There was a tweet
we know that
from them on December 29th that said, "Let's come out in the streets together. The time has come. We're with you, not just from afar and verbally, but we're with you in the streets, in the field as well." And then Mike Pompeo in his little Happy New Year tweet and talked about the Iranian regime. He said, Happy New Year to every Iranian in the streets, also to every Mossad agent walking beside them.
And it lends credence to his story when you think about the operations Mossad has done that we found out about afterward. And I mean, they've had agents in there preparing all of these attacks. Like the 12-day war was synchronized with Mossad agents setting things up in Iran. How about the guy they blew up from Hamas whose apartment was in Iran? I mean, they set that up months in advance. So could they do this?
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
They sure could.
And it's
I don't think they did, but who knows?
In history itself, dozens upon dozens of situations like this.
Yeah.
Where particularly Western nations get involved there and help topple regimes. Iran's been a part of this as well.
Yeah.
So it would not be a far stretch at all if someone else's hands are in there doing that. But like you said,
is that crazy?
That would be.
It's crazy. It would be horrific.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, it really would be.
And maybe that was presented to Trump. I mean, President Trump has a hell of a lot more information about what's happening in Iran than we do.
Absolutely.
And he may have gotten confirmation of something like that. Whoa, hold the phone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there have been so many times, unfortunately, where you hear someone like the bad guy, the Iranian guy, saying something, and there's some truth to this. Because you remember the early days of COVID? China said, oh, yeah, that was developed in North Carolina, the University of North Carolina. And we were like, oh, shut up. Well, you had that, who was the former CDC director? His name slips my mind. I remember it was just like a year ago that he said, it wouldn't be beyond reasonable suspicion that COVID-19's origins were at the University of North Carolina before it ended up in Wuhan. I'm like, the hell? So you mean what the Chinese said 4 years prior was accurate?
Doesn't mean that we released it.
Doesn't mean that we released it. No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we can't just completely dismiss somebody's comments just because they're a bad guy.
And we've seen so many weird things occur, especially in the last decade.
Sure.
I don't know we don't know what to believe anymore. You don't know what to believe. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's where we're at, man.
That we just can't absolutely say that's nonsense. Shut up and move on. Because it's worth considering based on everything we've seen from the Mossad lately. And most of it, I agree with them doing it. They're fighting desperately for their survival. And this would be the same thing. However,
you draw the line at shooting innocent people that are protesting their government in the street.
Yeah.
And it was Director Redfield who said that, former CDC Director Redfield, who said, Ralph Barrick, University of North Carolina. So, to your point, man, that is a line that
you don't cross that line.
Support. And if you're the president of the United States, what the hell do you do with that information if that's accurate? Oh, God.
I mean, that should stunt your support for Israel right there.
Yeah.
Ed, that would be a real problem. I hope. Well, I mean, do you think there's any credence to this? 888-900-3393. Let us know what your thoughts are on this. I tend to think it's not true.
Okay.
Because they are liars.
Uh-huh.
But I think there's a small chance it is.
How many CIA assets do you think we got on the ground there, and what are they up to?
Yeah. It's a little tougher for us to infiltrate than it is for Israelis. But that could be too. Back in the Oval Office, there's so many things going on right now. You've got Minnesota, which is huge and an incredible hotspot. You've got what's happening in Iran, which could turn into World War III if we're not careful. Yeah. And then we have the situation in Greenland where we're considering just taking it. So Do you want to be paid for it, or do you want us just to take it and then you get nothing out of it? How about that?
I can't leave this offer out here forever.
Right? Time's running out.
Best I can do is $700 billion.
That's pretty good money to either Denmark or Greenland. Maybe, I don't know if they split it. I don't know how that works with their protectorate
Denmark
situation.
is Greenland's agent. They get a cut.
So the president was asked about the latest on that, too, of Greenland becoming part of the U.S.
We're going to see what happens with Greenland. We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happens. They're going to brief me on the meeting right after this conference. In fact, the sooner I get you out, the faster I'm going to know exactly what happened. But we have a very good relationship with Denmark, as you know. We'll see. But, we're doing the Golden Dome. We're doing a lot of things, and we really need it. If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in, and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, but we can do everything about it.
They're talking about, and they've already done it, they're beefing up their military presence in Greenland.
Yeah.
So we don't want none of that.
Well,
you don't want to go up against the Danes.
Well, Canada, Germany, Sweden, Norway, and France are all sending troops to Greenland as well, which is quite a development.
Yeah, it is.
Here it is, Pat.
Yeah?
I got the numbers.
Okay.
Germany's sending 13 troops.
13. Okay. All right.
Okay, hold on.
And
Let's add these up because this could.
yeah, you got to add them up.
Something.
Yeah, please add them up. Actually, you might need a calculator. Just
Okay, I'm going to get a calculator right now because this will turn out to be a gigantic number.
Okay, so Germany's sending 13 troops.
Okay.
The UK may send 1 officer.
Wait,
they may.
All right,
we haven't
so just
decided
give them
yet.
14. Just give them 14.
I'll give them 14. Okay, plus. Who else is in this?
What else you got?
That's it.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
Wait, it's 13 German troops.
13, yeah, according to this report.
And 1
May.
British troop may show up.
Ask Grok how many Canadian, Canadian, Swedish, Norwegians, and French are going, and then get back to me.
Okay.
I bet it's not triple digits. It's not triple digits. But, I mean, just the fact that that's even a discussion point. Can we put a full screen 9, though? Because I think the president may be getting a little ahead of himself. Apparently, he's already put Greenland in his Amazon cart. Just proceed to checkout. Who's the Pat head that posted that? I don't see.
Is there a discount code on that?
Pat.
No.
Can you put Pat
you can
or
put Pat.
Gray
you can put
in there?
Either or, yeah. I think it's like 10% off.
You get a 10% discount.
10%.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's substantial when you're talking about $700 billion. That's $70 billion.
Now, let's do this. You just pick your Amazon delivery day, and maybe you save 6%. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And give them a little bit more time to deliver it.
But it doesn't have to be done overnight. We can wait 2 days.
Yeah, we can wait 2 days.
Okay, here we go.
What do you got?
All right, get out the calculators. Germany, 13.
13.
Norway, 2.
2. All right, so we're 15 plus
2.
that other guy.
Sweden,
plus
small number of officers.
What does that mean?
Let's give him 3.
That's nebulous. All right, well, let's say 4. Let's give him the benefit of the
so
doubt.
up to 20 if you count the British dude.
The UK, okay, then you got the British do 1.
Okay.
France, Canada, the Netherlands have not.
They haven't committed
They
to a
haven't
number?
fully committed a number, but
you would think that could be up to a dozen, maybe?
Right. Yes.
Combined.
I mean, France could send 5 million. I mean, that's not going to do anything.
So that's it.
So there
All
it
right,
is.
That's interesting.
So it could be over 20
Pat
troops.
We did look what we did in Venezuela with 20.
Right. That's
So
right.
you don't need much.
No, you don't.
Wait, look what we did in Venezuela with 20.
Yeah, that wasn't
fair.
Canada.
Fair.
Denmark, the UK. That wasn't any of them.
But NBC's reporting that Marco Rubio is expected to prepare a proposal to buy Greenland for $700 billion.
Yeah.
Right. That's where you apply that discount code.
Yes.
And get it for $630 billion.
There you go. There you go. See? Everybody wins.
Yep.
What do we got here?
I saw yesterday where, the meeting in Greenland is not going well for at least as far as their attitude toward the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
They buy into all the media hype and they're going to come in here, take over our country.
Hold on. You should play the next clip.
Okay.
The president being asked if he'd take Greenland by force if it came to that.
All right.
Right now, it sounds like you are saying that you would potentially acquire Greenland by force. That would be a NATO country.
Well, you're saying that.
Are you saying that? Would you do that?
No, you're saying that.
Would you
I
acquire
didn't
that by
say it.
force
No,
right
you're
now?
telling me that that's what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do.
So what are the options?
Your
then?
network
Because
doesn't know either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after the meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right now?
Well, I wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not going to give up options, but it's very important. Greenland's very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is, there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off. They were talking about they put an extra dog, and they were serious about this. They put an extra dog sled there last month. They added a second dog sled. That's not going to do the trick.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it. But I have a very good relationship with Denmark, and we'll see how it all works out. I think something will work out.
Yeah, I hope so. Because otherwise, we're gonna have to send a brownie troop in there and take over.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll send in the brownies, and then they'll be sorry.
I just want to point out that the entire world has just been aghast now for 4 years that Ukraine went in, Russia went into Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't know that we should be
I know.
showing up in some other country with a wide open invitation from said country.
And the White House posted this picture, and I feel like it's great. It's a great decision for them.
Okay.
Left side, see the two sled dogs. Do you want to go to China and Russia, or do you want to go to America?
Which way, Greenland man?
Which way?
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
Two dog sleds.
That's
Let's
good.
go.
Yep, that's good.
I feel like we're getting to the point where if Greenland were a woman, we'd be guilty of harassment bordering on stalking at this point. If they don't take
no,
this
we're just
offer.
catcalling. Right now, we're just
catcalling?
catcalling.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just catcalling.
Hey, baby, 700 billion, honey.
That Greenland,
Exactly.
it is hot. I mean, not in the temperature meaning of the word, but very sexy.
I mean,
it's a sexy
look
island.
at it.
when
Look
you
how
think
he
hot,
dresses.
you think Greenland.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Don't you though? You were right.
Okay, so we had that meeting that he was talking about, right? You want to see what the foreign minister
I really
of
do.
Denmark said after
this
that?
is fascinating.
Yeah, let's see.
We still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree.
Oh.
And therefore we will, however, continue to talk.
Oh.
We have decided to form a high-level working group to explore if we can find a common way forward.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
The group, in
I
our
love
view,
working
should
groups.
focus on how to address the American security concerns while at the same time respecting the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We expect that such a group will meet for a first time within a matter of weeks.
Oh,
And then
cool.
I will pass the floor to my colleague.
Awesome. All right. So she's still taking our calls.
All right.
It was pretty cool when that guy stepped out of his official vehicle. He had a big old pipe, this old school pipe.
Nice.
And he just
That
blowing
guy?
smoke. Yes, it was so cool. He came out like, all right, where's the money bag?
The Surgeon General's warning hasn't gotten to Greenland yet.
No,
so
it
they
has
don't
not.
know. They don't know.
I
that-
haven't seen a pipe like that in a long time. I'm trying to find a picture, but it was so cool to see.
Yeah, and Venezuela was referenced there by the president. They had a big vote yesterday that J.D. Vance had to break the tie of, and so
Oh yeah.
so he can go
Where
forward with whatever
they
he
would
wants to
need. They would need authorization from Congress in order
Right.
to go into Venezuela with military
do. Yeah,
action.
because you remember it eventually for the procedural vote it went 52 to 48 because they got 5 Republicans to join the Democrats. So then it comes up for a vote. And then the White House convinces Senator Todd Young and Senator Josh Hawley to support the president. That got it to 50-50. So then Vance had a busy day yesterday, meeting with Greenland and Denmark, and then having to run over to the Capitol and break that tie vote there.
That is more in one day than a
Right.
vice president has had to do in the last 200 years.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yep. So he can go forward. The president can go forward with his plans for Venezuela without Congress interfering.
And don't forget, you can go ahead and put it, Joe. Today, he will meet with Maria Corina Machado at
Oh, yeah,
12:30.
the chick in Venezuela.
Yeah, the chick from Venezuela. It's a lunch meeting.
It's a lunch meeting.
Wonder what they're having. Do we know what the
Cordon bleu.
menu is?
Cordon bleu
It's
with
that fake
patele.
food that Nicolas Maduro and his family were eating. Those plastic, remember the...
Yeah, the pateles. That's what they were eating.
Pateles. Did the pateles come from Manawa, Nicaragua?
They did, actually.
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. I love that.
Boy, there's so much going on in this
Oh,
world,
my
man.
gosh, it's
Holy
unbelievable.
Crap. Catch your breath.
And I don't know what to think about the Greenlander situation either, because they don't want us there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a really tiny faction of Greenland citizens who are okay with it. And so...
You got to figure out, and I don't, please, no more wars. No more wars. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to figure out a way to goad China or Russia to step foot on Greenland. You got to set a trap there for them. Make them, and oh crap, we got to go and defend. NATO says we got to get over there to Greenland, and then you never leave.
It's just a difficult situation where we're going up against a NATO ally here. It's really bizarre. Like we mentioned yesterday, I don't think I've ever seen the like of it. This can't have ever happened before. So a lot of unprecedented things going on right now, and they're all going on at the same time.
Hey, look, I do appreciate that we have a president that loves this country and is trying to do everything possible to clear out the Western Hemisphere of Russian and Chinese influences. And this is a big part of it. So it's going to be interesting.
We've gotten so used to the Monroe Doctrine not being even considered that, it's kind of strange now that President Trump is emphasizing it so much. Well, yeah, we used to completely agree. Let's not allow communism on this side of the planet. We don't want that spreading throughout our side.
Yeah, we got enough of that contained in states like New York and California, please.
Right. A little bit in Maine and some in Minnesota, but it's not nationwide yet. But that does show you how that cancer spreads, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's quick, too.
I mean, you would think when an ideology has been responsible for the slaughter of 100 million people over the last 100 years, you would think that most people would be a little leery of it. That all people would be leery of it and say, no, we're not doing that. We've seen the fruits of communism. How about no on that particular thing? But it's been so long, and we have such a great life comparably in comparison to everybody else in this country that, they start thinking, well, it's so unequal now. Let's equalize everything. Let's make sure everybody has the same. What they don't understand is in communism, everybody does get the same. It's like zero. Everybody gets crapped on in communism. Yeah. They're not bringing everybody up to the highest level. You're all sinking to the lowest.
Correct. And the ironic part is that all of these problems that government entities like the mayor of New York or the governor of California try to go in and fix with communism, it was caused originally by governments in the first place. Whether it's your cost of housing or any number of things that they stand on to try to straw man argument stuff. I was looking here on Grok. I asked Grok, what is the closest NATO allies have come to a military conflict with each other? It does have several examples, just so you know. I guess the closest was in 1996, Greece and Turkey. They were arguing over a pair of uninhabited rocky islets.
Oh, wow.
In the Aegean Sea. And
right.
So, I guess that almost, and it's
all
still,
right.
I'm because this new computer of mine doesn't know where the internet is. It has stopped. But you know how Chris knows what I'm talking about. It'll tease what it's about to tell you. And it actually said that I guess Canada or Spain fired on one another over like a fishing thing.
Really? Wow.
Where's John Munoz, the IT guy? Oh, he just walked by. John, my computer. There's been several. There's been several NATO
but they
clashes.
didn't come to blows, right?
I guess not.
Okay. 888-900-3393. More coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
You want me to send you back to where you were? Unemployed in Greenland?
Yeah, because it's like the hottest spot on Earth right now, almost. Top 3, anyway. Got some tweets here. Jeff Gibson tweets, remember when we had Baghdad Bob? We now have the Iranian idiot. From Scalded Stomach Thought Criminal, apparently Baghdad Bob is alive and well and currently runs PR for the regime in Tehran. From Kenneth Parker, Iran is just trying to tell us our bad on all the other times we shot our protesters, but this time it's the Jews. That's great.
Okay.
And Cougar Sasquatch, Trump better be prepared to fight the extra dog sled team. Anyone allergic to dogs should probably sit the mission out. We don't need sneezing Delta Force operators.
No.
That's for sure. It's some really good points there. We were curious about the NATO versus NATO near clashes.
Yeah.
Certainly there's been disagreements over the years that could have gone to hot wars. I mean, Greece and Turkey are apparently still not very good friends, but they've had some issues. Turkey invaded Cyprus following a Greek-backed coup, leading Greece to temporarily withdraw from NATO's military command.
Oh, wow.
1974.
That sounds serious.
There was an Aegean Sea dispute, ongoing tensions involving maritime boundaries, airspace violations, and energy exploration rights. That, again, was Greece and Turkey.
Sensing a pattern.
Yeah. During the Cold War, 58 to 76, a series of confrontations over fishing rights between Iceland and Britain.
Oh, wow.
Iceland threatened to withdraw from NATO. Man, you don't want that.
Over fish.
Oh, you don't want that. Can you imagine had Iceland left NATO? Well, the rest of us would be essentially militarily naked. We wouldn't know what to do.
I think the whole organization might collapse without Iceland.
Right? Yes, it would collapse. The Turbo War, a bloodless dispute over, again, fishing rights in the North Atlantic between Canada and Spain erupted.
Yeah, this is the one.
And so they handled that one diplomatically, though.
Well, that's after Canada shot a couple of shots over the bow.
Oh, right.
They were like, this is our fish, bro.
So that's really, I mean, you're getting really close then. There was a Suez Canal crisis. The United States clashed with the UK and France after they intervened in Egypt without prior consultation, highlighting a major lack of coordination among the founding allies. And we weren't happy about it.
You have to get permission from the U.S. then?
Yes. Are you kidding? Of course you do.
Interesting.
Yeah. In 1966, President Charles de Gaulle of France withdrew France from NATO's integrated military structure to assert national sovereignty, forcing NATO to move its headquarters from Paris to Brussels. So that's why it's in Brussels now.
Oh, wow.
France didn't fully reintegrate until 2009.
Holy crap.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't either.
Wow. Can we do that with the UN? That way it moves from New York to who cares where?
Brussels, Paris,
Go.
I don't care.
Pick a spot. Don't care. Just get out of New York.
Remember the Falklands War? The UK wanted support going up against Argentina, but we, the United States, and other members were a little confused because we had conflicting interests with them and the rest of Latin America, so we weren't excited about them kicking Argentina's butt, but they did it anyway. So, and we somehow recovered from that, and they're still our close ally. But there's been instances of heated issues coming up in NATO, and I don't know, this one could just go away completely, or it might get really ugly. I mean, they have sent 2 dog sled teams to protect the island.
So when a future talk host 20 years from now is reading through a similar list that you just went through, there will be a little section that says United States versus NATO allies. NATO allies sent, couple dozen individuals to Greenland when the U.S. expressed interest before they purchased it outright.
And an extra dog sled team. Don't forget that.
That's right. I apologize.
That's already happened. So it's not like they're on the way. That extra dog sled team is there right now. So
it's already in place.
It's in place.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. Nobody wants to go up against an elite dog sled team. Nobody.
And I love how that one quick fact makes him look so weak.
Yeah.
Of adding that dog, and then Trump just keeps shoving that knife.
He does.
Oh, somebody needs to get this list of NATO versus NATO in front of Trump so he could start bringing that up.
Yeah.
It's not unprecedented that we would have disagreements among family. It's happened for the last 50 years.
And here's the pipe that I was telling you guys about.
Okay.
That's how he walked out.
Oh, yeah, that's old school.
All right, man. Make 1942
That's what
cool
I said.
again.
I was like, wait.
Yeah.
They still make those?
Awesome.
Apparently. All right. Back to Minnesota and the ICE operations happening there and nationwide. Border Czar Tom Homan was asked about the deportation numbers.
Have you on the program today. Let's start with some big numbers that I want to get you to comment on. 2.5 million people have left this country, either by DHS removing them or they've self-deported. Talk to me among them, how many were criminals and what kind of success are you having?
Well, as far as the self-deportations, one's left on their own. I don't have that data, but I can tell you we're about 650 to 660 actual deportation. We actually put hands on somebody and removed them. And the latest numbers I've seen, about 70% of everybody we're arresting are criminals. So, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of criminal, public safety threat, illegal aliens that we have deported. Actually arrested and deported. So, of course, every criminal alien, public safety threat we take off the street makes the community much safer. So President Trump's keeping his promise to American people, making this country safe again.
Yeah, and by that math, I'm looking at about 400,000 people then that would have had criminal records. That's a...
Oh, wow. Okay.
70%. That's huge.
So...
That's amazing. Criminals. And they're criminals anyway because they came here illegally, which to me, that's not okay.
Yeah, if you take Homan's numbers of the 660,000 that they've arrested and deported, and the 2 million from Harris Faulkner, I mean, that's 2.6 million people that are no longer in this country that were, in fact, it's the first negative migration that we've had in, 50 years? I don't even know if we have a graphic. Yeah, there, thank you. Look at that. Look at that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So that's the monthly... Is that like the average monthly flow?
Yeah,
of
monthly flow of net immigration. It was 50,000 clear back with Reagan.
A month.
First Bush, 55,000. Bill Clinton, 67,000 net gain.
Yeah.
W. Bush, 75,000 net gain. Obama, 68,000. Trump, the first time, 40,000 net gain. That surprises me. Under Biden, 200,000 per month net gain.
Oh.
And under this administration, it's minus 145,000 per month.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Net migration.
Look at that last line. First
That's
administration
great.
since the 1920s with a net negative flow of monthly migration. Who was president in the 1920s? I can't, it escapes me.
Was it,
some guy.
Was it the cartoon character Calvin? What was his name?
Hobbes.
Hobbes.
Yep.
Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes.
It's Calvin Coolidge and Hobbes.
Right.
Yeah. His vice president, his VP was Hobbes.
That's incredible. That's a great stat. I'll have to keep that around because that's amazing. I hadn't seen that yet.
So a net monthly migration on average 145,000.
Wow.
Negative. Yeah.
That's great. That is really fantastic. And, okay, so was this Homan asked why ICE is in Minneapolis to begin with?
He's out there taking questions. Yeah.
President Trump made his promise to American people, we're going to find these criminals and make America safe again. So if they don't let us into jail, we're going to go in the community. And the difference is, in places that's not a sanctuary, one agent can walk into a jail and arrest one criminal illegal alien. But when you release them in the community, now we got to send the whole team because we got to arrest somebody on their turf. They have access, who knows what weapons. It makes it dangerous for the officer, makes it dangerous for the alien, and certainly makes it dangerous for the community. So if Minneapolis wants to help, like I saw Mayor Frey do an interview this morning, let us in your damn jail. What's the downside of letting a federal law enforcement officer with the immigration authority talk to an illegal alien that you already locked up and put in a jail cell? It's ridiculous that they're pushing back on that.
Yeah. Imagine that, by the way. And he's right. You could make this so much easier, so much less stress on your community. Just let us go get them out of the prisons and deport them. What is the problem with that?
Whose side are you on?
That is the question, isn't it? And I think the answer is pretty clear. They're on the other side. They're not on the side of America, that's for sure. Speaking of which, here's Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and what he had to say yesterday.
Tonight, I want to share another way you can help.
Okay.
Witness. Help us establish a record of exactly what's happening in our communities. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. So carry your phone with you at all times.
Gosh.
And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans.
Atrocities.
Not just to establish a record for posterity, but to bank evidence for future prosecution.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, in that same speech, he was talking about how these federal agents are just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them in unmarked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process, which we evidenced by the looted warrants shows that's not the case. He said, let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government.
When are they going to stop that kind of rhetoric?
And last week, that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good. This guy.
And that's their fault because they're ratcheting these people up against ICE. It's entirely their fault. God. And he says they have the right to, well, yeah, you have the right. Just because you have the right doesn't mean you should do it. You have the right to do a lot of things that aren't really smart.
Yeah, the ICE agent that was involved in that fatal shooting of Renee Good, he suffered internal bleeding.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for ratcheting that up.
That's how hard he was hit by that vehicle. Jeez. Plus, did you notice that they now have an angle where it shows that one of the bullets, at least, came right through the front windshield. So you're not making that shot from the side. As she's coming at him, he's trying to protect himself by shooting her through the front windshield. That was dead on front. So she was coming right at him and speeding toward his body. What are you going to do? Going to just let him run you over? It's despicable what's happening right now. The left is just being ratcheted up. It's an insurrection.
Yeah.
But here's the good thing. Leftists are singing. They're singing again.
Oh, good.
That's wonderful when they sing. I love it. And here it is.
This is for our neighbors who are locked inside. Together we will abolish ICE.
We will abolish ICE.
This is for our neighbors who are locked inside.
Locked inside.
Together we will abolish ICE.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Saw a thing today where even Democrats are begging them not to start this garbage again. Please don't start up the abolish ICE craze again. Please. It didn't help him. He said it doesn't work. Don't do this. Even certain Democrats.
Oh, we've got a clip coming up shortly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Down the road here. I don't know if you want to go ahead and get to that.
Yeah, let's play it here.
All right, I'm pretty sure this is. I think this is the one. A Michigan Representative Sri Thandahar, who can barely speak English himself, who left animals to die.
Oh yeah, right.
And that SOB doesn't even know the cities in his own district. Anyway, he was part of a press conference yesterday talking about ICE. That's going to be whatever clip that is.
And we must reform ICE. But it looks at this stage, folks. ICE is beyond reform.
Oh, okay. So it's beyond reform.
ICE is totally out of control. And this week, I intend to introduce a bill to abolish ICE. We need to make ICE go away.
Go away.
2003. Before 2003, without ICE, various federal agencies were able to take care of business, and we can do this without ICE. But we do not need the murderers. We do not need these paramilitary organizations, members on our street.
Well, that's what ICE is trying to take care of. They're trying to remove some of those murderers and child abusers and others who are committing crimes in this country. They're removing them for you, but you want them on the street, don't you?
Can we play Let's Make a Deal with Shri Thandahar? Why don't we just get rid of every federal agency, every different department that has been created since 2003?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would
he like that? Yeah. No, he would not like that.
Okay.
Another buffoon, actor John Leguizamo.
Oh, yeah, the sloth guy, right?
Yeah, from the movie Ice Age.
Mm-hmm.
He had a message about Renee Good, the protester who was shot, of course, last week. Here's what he had to say.
Be good in honor of Renee Macklin Good. Because in this country that I love, we stand up for our rights and each other. Because being good means choosing compassion over cruelty and humanity over fear. I want to be a good neighbor, a good friend, a good human, and I know you do too. So this is for Renee Macklin Good and all who lost their lives. We cannot just move on. It's on all of us to stay engaged, seek accountability, and keep each other safe. Hashtag be good.
Oh, hashtag be good. Oh, since you're Mr. Twitter, you're going to be using that all day,
sure,
right?
All day.
Can I just say, John Leguizamo looks like Sloth.
That's probably why they picked him for the part.
Right. Can we do the
Let's get that side by side again, because that's fun.
I mean, look at.
There they are.
It's the same. Good job, Joe.
The sloth just needs some eyeglasses, and then we're all set.
That's where they got the idea how to draw it.
So pathetic. It's agonizing. That's Hollywood, though.
Yeah.
Always on the wrong side of this. And the interesting thing is, it didn't start out that way. I mean, we've played you clips, and we've seen movies from the 40s, from the 30s, 40s, and 50s where, they were reasonable, sane people. Not so much now.
Yeah.
Not so much.
That's where Ronald Reagan was trying to save America.
Yeah.
As an actor.
Right.
That's where it started.
That's where the hearings came in. We're trying to root out some of the communists, but man, they didn't get them all. And so that spread like wildfire through Hollywood.
Yeah, Senator McCarthy was right.
He was. Plus, we got to make a differentiation between what McCarthy did and the congressional hearings on communism. Those were two different things with kind of two different methods. All right, 888-900-3393. Lots more fun where this came from. Coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Many have come to protest, many to pray, but most have come to participate in what has become the best show in town.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
With a few tweets for you. Greenland New Deal tweets with the many hats Jeffy wears. I'm guessing the reason he hasn't been on the show is because he's the special ambassador to Greenland. Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Busted.
Nothing to do with his back or his knee. Special Greenlandic ambassador.
He's trying to beat Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
It's rhino season. Says, in communism, everybody is equal, but some are just more equal than others.
There you go.
Lilberg 10 on the statement that Walz made about recording everything ICE does. Tampon, they aren't just taking videos of ICE. They're taking their sensitive info and guns and equipment out of their cars. That is illegal. Yeah. Impeding law enforcement in general is illegal. So it really should not be encouraged, of course, by these Democrats, but they don't care. John Frank tweets, it may be an Iranian dog sled team just posing as a Greenland dog sled team, trying to lure Trump into attacking and using force to take Greenland.
Okay. Yeah. Careful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good safety tip, Keith. Whenever you're dealing with Greenland, you want to be careful because who knows? They could rise up at any moment, have one of those dogs on the dog sled team bark at you, and you don't want that. You just don't want it.
Hey, as a former canine officer, they bark really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they do.
And they bite really hard, too.
All right. So, Renee Good's former father-in-law. So she was divorced, right? She had the child with her husband, who was a man, and
He died.
He died, and now
Is this the dad of that?
I
young
believe
man?
so. If we're
Yes.
tracking, I believe so. Yes.
It's her father-in-law, former father-in-law.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was on CNN. Here's what he said.
This is powerful.
I want to ask you about this. When you talk about the confusion, and you've been open, obviously, about your support for the president, when you look at the videos of what happened, and I'm sure they're very hard for you, Timmy, to watch if you've even been able to, but the Deputy Attorney General says that the Justice Department doesn't believe that there's evidence to back a criminal investigation, right? And nothing about charges or anything that, just an investigation into what happened in terms of the ICE agents' actions. But they were, according to the prosecutors resigning today, pressuring them to investigate Renee's actions and Becca, her wife's actions. How do you feel about all that?
Well, I'm not blaming anybody. I mean, it's a hard situation all the way around. It's hard for for everybody involved. I mean, the ICE agent, at first I didn't see the footage where, he was actually, he was actually being ran. I mean, I seen the bump of the car hitting his legs. And so in a flash like that, it's hard to say how you would react.
Yep.
From my understanding that he had been through that before, maybe dragged or something. And so, like I said, it's just a hard situation for everybody. Becca, she's a great person as well. I mean, I don't have any many enemies. I love everybody, and that's what the Bible tells us: love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But I think there's some bad choices, and the word says, "For the wrath of God will come upon the children of disobedience." And it's I don't blame ICE, I don't blame Rebecca, I don't blame Renee. I just wish that if we're walking the Spirit of God, I don't think she would have been there.
That's great. Wow. But she was encouraged to be there by people like Tim Walz. And they've been convinced that these are Gestapo agents, that they're Nazis, and it's appropriate to get in their way, to hinder their work. They're being told what ICE is doing is unconstitutional. I don't know how they... Of course, they don't even try to show you how it's unconstitutional or where it says that in the Constitution. But they just claim it's unconstitutional. It's illegal activity. No, it's not. No, it is not. What's illegal is what she was doing. How did she think it was okay to blockade the street? She parked her car sideways in the middle of the street and was trying to block access to it. And then she wouldn't comply with ICE orders. None of that is okay. You can't do that. And you certainly can't hit the accelerator and run into an ICE agent. There's no consideration by the left about any of that and how difficult it is to make a split-second decision like that to shoot at somebody. And that, I'll bet you that's what was in the mind of the ICE agent last night who got hit in the face with the shovel and then shot the illegal alien in the leg. Bet he didn't want to go through any of that. And then, you're risking your own life because if you miss and he beat you to death with the shovel, you probably should have shot him center mass, but he didn't. Anyway, an ICE agent was talking with one of the annoying protesters. Here's some fun for you.
I don't care what they told you. If you guys get in my way, I will arrest you.
Sir, we're just observing. Please calm down.
You can observe all you want.
I am observing. Do you
Stay
see
back.
me in the way? I am back.
You had anger issues as a kid, didn't you?
Oh, God.
Were your parents present?
Oh, my God.
You should be ashamed of yourself, man.
No, you should.
He is.
I love my job. Thank you.
I love my job.
You love your job?
I can't believe I get paid for this.
Really?
I do this for free.
Really, I get $200K. I'm a physician assistant.
How long did you go to school for that?
7 years.
I went to high school, and I make $200K.
People regard me as someone valuable in society. What about you? Yours has prestige? No.
She loves herself.
I went to school for 7 years, and I make $200,000 as a physician's assistant. What about you?
Well, I make $200,000. I only went to high school. How much debt you got?
That's, wow.
Oh.
Well, it shows you who they are. They do believe that they're superior to everybody else. And again, they've been told that all of this is fine. You can hassle them whatever you want to do. You can impede their work. You can do whatever you want, essentially.
Yep. I will say that reporter Walter Kurt posted this last night. And Data Republican, who's awesome, and she finds some incredible numbers and posts them. So between Walter Kurt and Data Republican, he says that did some numbers on the Somali fraud cash going through Minneapolis airport. According to reports, over 2 years, they moved roughly $700 million through the airport. That means that if they used $100 bills, they would have moved 7.7 metric tons of cash. And keep in mind, this is just what was flagged over the past 2 years. A couple of notes on that number. That would essentially mean that the Somalis were taking $1 million duffel bag through the airport every single day for 2 years. Further, we can assume that this is only the money that was flagged. If the Somalis were just wandering through without declaring every cash bag, we could be talking 10 times that amount. The question then became, why Minneapolis? Well, after some quick discussing with regular travelers of the Minnesota airports, the Somalis run the airport. They're the ground crews. They're the airport staff. They're the friggin' TSA. We have an airport in the United States of America run by pirates. That's the problem. More on where we think the money is going later. And seriously, liberals, as we have reported time and time again, I mean, they scream the loudest when you get really close to their precious. We saw how they reacted to USAID being audited because that was their main vessel for fraud. Well, I think we're learning that Minneapolis is their big vessel for fraud as well. It's not just the ICE operations there. It's not just what Nick Shirley is uncovering. It's the airport itself. And that is a hub of fraud in this country. And so, of course, the demons on the left are descending on Minnesota and making sure that this goes no further. This is something to behold, man. If this country is going to be saved, it's going to be done in the next 3 years.
Yep. I don't know how you fix it, really.
Yeah.
A nation this divided, again, you have to turn to God for the answers here. And for the solution here. Are we going to do that? I mean, I hope. I'd like to think we would or will. But it doesn't look like it. It doesn't.
Well, it has to start with one person. One person at a time.
Which one should it start with?
Well, you start from the bottom up.
Yeah,
but
okay.
If Trump has been in all these interviews and he keeps talking about morality and morals, and I'm like, bro, if you just
take
turn
it a little bit further,
yes,
and go to God.
Just turn. You're almost there.
Yeah.
Just turn a little bit more, and if that happens, it'll trickle down. But right now, we just work from the bottom up.
I'm really hoping that somehow, some way, America 250 is used as that vessel. And kind of instilling some American pride this year.
It's hard to believe it's here now, isn't it? This is the 250th birthday coming up of the United States of America. Really, we're still in our infancy when it comes to longevity of a nation. I mean, you look to Europe and you see how long those countries have been around. We went pretty far, pretty fast. It's a remarkable occurrence, and there's never been anything like it in the history of the world. Maybe we could come together on that and all decide that there are certain things we can all agree on. Like, let's not make it difficult for law enforcement agents. Can we agree on that?
Right.
Apparently not.
No, what are you talking about?
Because you got, and the funny thing, I don't see it on the sheet, but Joe Rogan bashed ICE agents yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
You don't want militarized people in the streets just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers? Is that what we've come to?
That's disappointing.
That is.
I thought they had warrants. Is that not accurate?
They do.
That's what was looted out of the ICE vehicles last night. I don't know. Greenland, if you're listening, we're cool. It's cool. You still want to be a part. I know it doesn't look like it from afar, but we're cool. And in fact, you can party with us if you can just sign on the line before July 4th this year. And we just treat you like you've been here the whole time. Just ignore the stuff you're seeing in Minnesota.
You know what they like, though? They like what Denmark is providing for them. Free healthcare.
Yes.
Free education. all of the subsidies that they do for Greenland, that's what they don't want to give up.
But hold on. But Greenland, we're just going to take it from the Somali invaders and give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, legally.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on now.
One of them said that it was like, I don't know, somebody in government in Greenland. There's only 57,000 of them, so I think they're all in government. But
they all are.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're all in government. She said, we've seen how the United States treats its population of natives.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We're going to go back to the 1800s.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
That's the card you're playing?
Yeah, it's the card she was playing.
Yeah, Denmark. I'm sure.
Oh, Denmark's been perfectly wonderful to everybody.
That's what I hear.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. They've never had an incident in Denmark. Well, in Denmark, they've got dog sleds. In Denmark. Yeah, I know. I got it. Denmark's perfect. United States completely flawed. Jeez. At least we admit our deficiencies and our mistakes over the years. And we've tried to correct them. We've tried to do something about them. No stinking nation on this planet is or has ever been perfect. And we've never claimed to be that. We're just the best option that there's ever been. So.
Yeah, I want to remind that Danish congresswoman that you were just quoting there. If you want to go back to the 1800s, I'm going to go back to the 800s. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Vikings setting sail from places like Denmark and what they did to England.
Yeah.
Let's go. You want to talk about...
Let's talk about the past.
Raping and pillaging?
The very definition of the instigators of that whole thing. All right. You probably have no idea how much damage gaining weight and losing weight can do. When you go back and forth like that all the time, doctors call it weight cycling, and half of us in America do it. It's when you lose 10 or so pounds, but then you put the pounds right back on, plus maybe a few more. It's tough on your body, and it probably leaves you really frustrated. So most people need help losing weight, and here's a great way to do it. Non-prescription Lean was created by doctors. Lean is an oral supplement, not an injection, and the science is really impressive. The studied ingredients also target weight loss in 3 powerful ways. It helps you maintain healthy blood sugar, it helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting it to energy. And burning fat, of course, helps keep the weight off. So if you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and then keep it off, add Lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. Get 20% off right now, too, when you enter the promo code PAT at takelean.com. That's promo code PAT at takelean, L-E-A-N, takelean.com.
Pat Gray will return after this.
So another important element we need to consider right now is, of course, the economy. Midterms are coming up in November. Economic issues are going to be really important. And Peter Navarro just talked about bringing home prices down, gas prices, and some other ways that the Trump administration is working to lower costs for all Americans.
So housing, what we're doing, Charles, is we're taking a micro approach to macro problems like housing, for example. So just in the last week, he directed Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to spend $200 billion buying mortgage-backed securities. So what is that going to do? That's probably worth 1/4 to 1/2 point on lower mortgage rates, a couple $100 for the average mortgage holder a month. Then you've got a ban coming on institutional investors, hedge funds et al., buying single-family homes. There's really good data on this, Charles, that when you let these hedge funds go in and buy like that, it dramatically drives up rents. So we're tackling that. The president's also looking at using retirement accounts penalty-free as down payments, and buried the lead. One of the biggest drivers, Charles, of rents, higher rents in this country is the 20 million illegal aliens that came in during 4 years of Joe Biden. It's 1 million illegals, 1% increase in rent. That's a 20% national increase, but it's clustered in the blue cities and blue states like New York. And ironically, we get the Mondamis of this world then calling for socialist measures to solve a problem they created.
Right.
If you go over to energy, I mean, look, Biden, $75 a barrel, we're down to towards 50. And I've got a piece coming out in Fox Business tomorrow morning that explains why the purchase of Venezuelan heavy crude oil will help reduce the price of gasoline and diesel here. Why? Because our refineries are all custom built based on the type of oil they were expecting to use. When fracking came along, it upset that balance because fracking's got a lot more light crude. So by using heavier crude mixed in with a lighter crude, that's going to help things. Credit card cap, 10%. I mean, the mafia can't get as much interest rates on the VIG as MasterCard and Visa. It's just crazy. And you're hearing, like, I don't know, Wall Street complain about this. The banks complain about it. It's going to hurt the little guy. Oh, memo to MasterCard. That's your business model. You're making a lot of money, and you're not just adjusting for risk. You're making money, and that's not how money should be made on the American people.
Okay, well,
obviously have made a decision to make sure the economy doesn't collapse.
Yeah.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
He was good up to that last one.
Yeah.
But look at that, year over year. Look at the inflation rates going down there across the board. If you're into milk and eggs and
I do like eggs.
Do you use gas in your car?
Like milk. I do
you ever
occasionally.
Fly on a plane?
Yeah, I have.
You buy appliances?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Well, I mean, not on a regular basis, but every once in a while something will break down and we'll get
I just
one.
had to buy a microwave, so.
You did?
I did.
I mean, overall, that sounds good. And,
it does.
The credit card thing's a little sus, but
yes,
I like
it
the
is.
rest of that.
Hey, some banks are already coming up with a credit card with
They're
just
responding.
10%.
They're responding
They're
to
responding
that.
with
The free
no
market.
signature, no nothing. Banks are already saying, all right, fine. Here's 3 options. Here's 3 different credit cards, 10%. Go away.
So if oil comes down to $50 a barrel, I wonder what kind of impact that would have on Texas. I mean, it's not like
that's the tightrope you walk here.
Yeah, we're a little.
You want Texas to do well. You want the businesses to do well. I want the oil companies to continue to make money. It's a free market capitalist system, and so when they get really, really low, then you're talking about really bad things for the oil industry, which isn't good for America.
Yeah, but in Texas, at least our economy here is much more diverse than it was in the 80s when it fell through the floor of the price of oil. So
true.
Hopefully it wouldn't have as much of an impact. I will say that the Babylon Bee, I mean, the economy is definitely doing great. I mean, they had a headline that said, a White House announces over 1 million new jobs were created in December. Problem is they were all filled by Marco Rubio.
That is a problem, yeah. You need to spread that around just a little bit, Marco. He's gotten too greedy with all these jobs.
America's busiest man, Marco Rubio. Did you see that the Supreme Court, this is going to have an impact one way or the other, delayed, again, the ruling for tariffs that we thought might come out yesterday. So when is the next set of rulings coming out?
I don't know. But hopefully they're going to rule the right way on that.
It could be a mess. That could be a mess.
Yeah, and that's probably why they keep putting it off.
That's what I'm wondering. Are we having to get all our ducks in a row to find out how this is going to impact everything?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, yesterday I filled up, and I think it was it $2.31 a gallon? What did you pay last week, Chris? You said it was like $1.64 a gallon or something?
$1.64, yes.
Was that with some special deal, or it was just...
No, that's my 85 because I use the yellow...
You use the engine-destroying gas, right?
Sure.
Okay, the lowest,
water one.
The lowest grade.
Yes, lowest grade,
the corn
85.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but still, it was 164 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. With no coupon?
No coupon.
That wasn't at Sam's or
Nope, it was
Costco?
at a racetrack right there in Alliance.
Well, see, I'm pissed because I went to Costco yesterday thinking, I bet it's real cheap. I can't wait to see this. I roll up there, and it was for 87 unleaded.
Yeah.
$2.59. I realize people in Northeast and California are going, you're complaining about that? Well, compared to the fact that I just passed a QT that said $2.22.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know that QT.
And he paid $1.64 last week. That's crazy. But overall, nationwide, year over year, gas is down 3.4%.
Love it.
Which is really good. That's good.
Okay. All right.
So
I mean,
again, put that in your
Trump
pipe.
said
and smoke it.
Cut it in half. So.
Yeah, and we're not quite there yet.
Not
but
quite.
Hopefully we will be.
He said 18 months, right? That's what he said?
Yeah, a year to 18 months.
He extended it out. He said 18 months at the latest.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get
We got
your
time.
energy prices down by half.
Okay. Here's the thing. I just saw it on the news. 6 oil tanker just got seized. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and we just sold the other one for $500
million.
So we're bathing in oil.
What are we selling it for? We need to be using it.
Yep. So
we're bathing in oil.
We are. We're bathing in it. That's great. I mean, it is better than it was. That's for sure.
Oh yes.
So make no
164.
mistake about that. The prices are better for somehow people have come to believe that it's worse than it was, but it isn't. I mean, those are the Democrat strategies to try to tell you you're doing worse than you are, or on the other, in another cycle, they'll tell you you're doing better than you are. Like all during Biden, everything was better than it was. You're fine. Don't talk to us about the economy. It's great. It's never been better. Really? Because that's not what my pocketbook is telling me, or my bank statement.
We have a pocketbook?
Yeah. Well, my wife does.
Oh,
She's
okay.
got a pocketbook.
Okay.
Yeah. She looks at that stuff.
Can you ever find your wife's pocketbook? Because I cannot. I'm always asking,
No.
hey, where's the whatever?
Yeah.
It's in my pocketbook. Well, where the hell's your pocketbook? Because it's always in a different place.
No, I'm not allowed to get that or look into that.
My wife doesn't even
Whatever.
have a pocketbook.
She doesn't have one?
No.
Do you do the bills in your house?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, not me. So, I like it that way, though. 888-900-3393. We also have Brad Meltzer coming up in about 15 minutes or so.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun. The economy is good for really, really good for some people. After warning us that sea levels were rising because of man-caused climate change, Kamala Harris just bought an $8.2 million
Look at you.
seaside home. Huh.
Who's paying closing costs on something like that?
Oh, man.
Is there a problem? I feel like
No, there's no problem.
you're trying
no
to
problem.
dogpile on her right now. She just wants to buy a new home.
And that would be fine.
Everybody's
and that
gotta live
is
somewhere,
fine.
Pat.
Except,
Okay.
why are you warning about sea level rise and buying a home on the sea?
They do it every time.
Every
time.
single time. They
When
show
it
you what
comes,
hypocrites
yeah.
they are, and they don't really believe this stuff. Because if you did believe the sea level is going to rise up to 20 feet or whatever your belief is currently, you're not purchasing a home where you're going to lose the home and maybe your life to the rising sea.
Yeah, last place you want to be is on the coast.
Hypocrites. My gosh. $8.2 million mansion in an exclusive Oceanside Malibu neighborhood. Isn't that wonderful
I'm
for
happy
her?
for her.
And her wonderful husband. That's just so great. Do you remember when Al Gore, who also believes the sea levels are rising, he also bought a home on the ocean in Montecito, California, or Malibu, I don't know, one of those places. And so he obviously believes that the planet's warming, right? Has warned us about it. It's catastrophic. It has to be stopped. We've got to pay all the money in the world so that we can stop this crisis. Ugh. Had this to say at one point.
He betrayed this country.
Speaking of George Bush.
He played on our fears.
He betrayed this country. He played on our fears. Okay. All right. And what have you done by babbling your nonsense and then not backing it up? Plus, the private jet usage by these people. And I mean, there's just so much hypocrisy there. It's hard to swallow.
Yeah.
So
You already played this clip, but remember what Whitney Cummings said.
So it just started to just be like, hold on, we don't believe in gender, but we need a female president. You're like, huh? And then it's
Yeah.
like, my body, my choice. Unless it's a baby that needs a vaccine for hepatitis B, which comes from butt sex. Like, what do you, right?
And sharing needles.
And sharing needles. Which, and then, we believe in climate change and sea is rising, but we live on the coast. Like, would you buy a house on the beach if you truly believe that the seas are,
No. No, of course not. That would be insanity. Of course, we know these people are, in fact, insane. So that probably works out well. Speaking of insanity, did you see that people raised $810,000 yesterday, one day, for Thomas T.J. Sabula? He's the guy that shouted pedophile protector at the president at the Ford plant. He was suspended from work, and immediately somebody, I don't know if it was him who went to GoFundMe, but in one day raised $810,000.
Yeah, and remember, I suspected.
Wow.
However, the UAW endorsement went in 2024. That's how this thing's going to play out. And
so are they demanding he go back to work?
Yeah, they're standing behind him 100% because
they're proud of
they
a
supported
strong and
Biden.
fighting union. He believes in freedom of speech, a principle.
I love the last part. Workers should never be subject to vulgar language or behavior by anyone, including the president of the United States.
UAW's got to say something to get in the news. So whatever. So they're backing him, and Pathead SRT 1965 pointed out that Polymarket already has a poll out. Will the president flip the bird again? Let's see. I don't guess we have that
ever.
picture. Yeah.
Oh, and no, just this year.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
2026. 43% chance right now if you want to place your bets on Polymarket. You can bet on anything, Pat.
So if I put down $100 on the fact that he will, how much could I win?
Sure.
Okay.
7.
7?
Oh, yes.
I don't know that that's worth it then.
What's the other thing? Oh! I looked up. Don't expect a tariff ruling before Tuesday of next week. Tuesday or Wednesday is what I saw in this article. So you got a guess on which way that's going to
go? From what everybody says, it's not going to go well. I can't imagine that though.
But the longer this takes, you think that's good or bad? Because it's starting to get this Obamacare ruling feel. Somebody's erasing something.
Yeah.
And changing their opinion to be completely incoherent. John Roberts. So I don't know.
Has he ever made a coherent ruling in the last
few and far between
15 years? I don't know.
I tell you, something that might end up before the court is what just happened yesterday. That Washington Post reporter having her home raided.
Oh,
because she was receiving.
Now they said she's not the target.
Right.
There's the leaker, whoever leaked the information to her, and I guess they're trying to find from her cell phone and her computer.
Took her watch.
Okay, what kind of information did he have that he's not telling us about?
On Venezuela.
But he's in jail already. Mm-hmm. They arrested him. So, yeah, I'm not in favor of necessarily busting into journalists' homes. But, I mean, if it's national security, it's national security. I don't know what they're looking for.
There's a line from this article here that says, it's exceedingly rare, even in investigations of classified disclosures, for federal agents to search a reporter's home. A 1980 law generally bars search warrants for reporters' work materials unless the reporters themselves are suspected of committing a crime related to the materials. And like you just said,
she's not a suspect. Yeah.
So this is going to be very interesting. But, I mean, even Trump acknowledged, they got a very bad leaker, and they're hot on the trail of others right now.
Because apparently the leaker leaked important military information about the Venezuela raid, right?
Yeah.
So
there's going to be more to come.
Yeah.
There's going to be more to come. Leakers that they're chasing down. But Attorney General Pam Bondi said that, look, this reporter was obtaining and reporting classified and illegally leaked information from a Pentagon contractor. Again,
can't have that.
Is that illegal for her, the reporter, to do that? She's just reporting what she's receiving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is going to be
it's a tough one.
Interesting
Yes, it
to
is.
watch.
On a fun note, sort of, you know what the cheapest ticket to the national championship game, Indiana versus Miami, is?
Oh, is the season still going on? I mean, this has been dragged on forever. I don't even know.
It is.
This week zero's game coming up?
Just about. Just a few weeks away.
Okay, so nosebleeds, you're saying?
Yeah, this just to get in the building.
Where is it this year? I forget.
I believe is it Miami?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it?
It's in Miami.
Wait a minute. It's in their home stadium?
Yes, it is in there. It's in Miami, the Miami Hurricanes home stadium.
Dang, man.
Slight advantage there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, nosebleed seats.
So the cheapest ticket to just get in the building, $3,000.
I was just about to say that. I was about to say $3,000.
$3,000.
No, thank you.
No.
Those are
What does that
Indiana
get me?
fans that are. This is their dream season.
Does that get me like free food?
No,
like free
that gets you
parking?
nothing but
just inside the building.
Get you a place to
Yep. So high up that you're going to be watching it from space.
Space station.
You need to just grab hold of the Hubble telescope, turn it toward the field, and then you might be able to see it. There's still some question about whether it'll be clear or not, but that's what you'll need to do.
But if you turn it towards the game, it should be clear.
Should
Line
be
of vision.
better than your, natural vision.
Yeah.
$3,000. I wouldn't pay that kind of money even if BYU was in the championship.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'll watch it at home. Thanks. Yeah, just watch it in the comfort and privacy of my home. I mean, let's say your team is playing in this game, the team you're absolutely obsessed with. What is the maximum amount you would pay to be there in person? How much would you pay for a Nebraska? Would you pay $3,000?
Not a chance.
No, I mean, that's incredible.
No, I paid. I was a freshman, sophomore in high school. My mom and I paid a scalper $250 each to go to the Braves 91 World Series.
Okay.
That was the first time they were in it.
But that's a World Series. Wow.
This game.
And how much was it?
$250 each.
$250 apiece.
Yeah.
$500 just to get in. Was it worth it?
$250 each.
Would you do that again?
At the time, I think to my name, I had $252.12.
So you were left with $212.
Yeah, I was left $212, so I could build off of that.
Yeah.
But would I pay $250? I would pay $250 to go see Nebraska.
Yeah. I think I would too, but $3,000, that's a little
I almost
exorbitant.
paid that just to go to their game to start the year in Kansas City against the Bearcats. I mean, it wasn't that much, but I mean, these tickets, I just don't understand how.
Well, regular people can't go, normal people. You save that kind of money for a trip to Disney World or something. To just go to a football game when you can see it on TV, that's tough to justify. All right, we're going to talk to our friend here in just a second. We got Brad Meltzer coming up in a minute. But if you're looking for something really good to get you through these winter months, I have something for you. Can you guess what it is? Kexi cookies. We rolled out our new lineup of winter cookies, and they're just ridiculously good. They're gourmet cookies made with high-quality ingredients, no weird things that you can't even pronounce. Just the kind of dessert you actually want to eat. One of those standouts right now is our hot chocolate cookie. It's a rich chocolate base topped with our in-house marshmallow cream. Yeah, we make that ourselves. I mean, I say we. My wife makes that, and it's her recipe. Plus, we have fluffy marshmallows and a layer of chocolate on top. Tastes really delicious.
And you're bringing these tomorrow,
I'm
right?
bringing them in tomorrow.
And Jeffy will miss out, probably.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be here this week.
Sorry, fella.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Unfortunate it is. Yes. We also have other seasonal favorites like the Cookies and Cream, Almond Joy, and S'mores Cookie. All of those baked fresh, shipped right to your door. And people genuinely love them. One 5-star reviewer, Sheila, said, cookies are my absolute favorite food, and Kexi cookies are definitely, hands down, the best cookies I have ever had. No other cookie comes close. It's a family-run business. These recipes come straight from our family traditions, so we're a little biased, but I think we're not alone. You can check out the cookies for yourself at Kexi.com, K-E-K-S-I. Like sexy, only with a K and an S and an I.
So close.
So it's really nothing like sexy. But these cookies are, in fact, sexy. It's Kexi.com.
Pat Gray returns.
Our friend and author Brad Meltzer joins us today. We all do. Brad Meltzer just wrote a book called The Viper. This is your first thriller in a while, right, Brad?
It is. First thriller in 4 years. We've been busy doing the JFK conspiracy and all the other conspiracy books we've talked about.
Right.
Nice. This is the third in the series, right?
It is, but you don't have to read any of the others. It says on the cover that this is a perfect place to start.
Okay. This is the perfect book for meet Ziggy. Okay, so this is, you can still meet this person in the book, but you don't have to start at the beginning.
I love that series kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's awesome, especially when you can join it already in progress and still understand it. So
Jeffy wishes he could be here, by the way.
Yeah, because he read the book and he loved the book and he's raved about it. And, you know, your books are always fantastic. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this one begins, a man walks into a funeral home, and he's carrying his favorite blue suit. He's got a terminal disease, and this is the suit he wants to be buried in. Now, here's the thing, Pat. If you go into your local bank and you open up a safety deposit box, paperwork gets filed. It means the government eventually can find it. Same thing if you go to the UPS store and you open up a P.O. box. But if you secretly sew something into the lining of your suit, and then you hand that suit over to your local mortician, you have the ultimate untraceable hiding spot. The man from there goes back to his hotel room. There's a guy with a gun waiting. He says, "Where is it?" Man says, "I don't know what you're talking about." The guy shoots him dead. And that suit is still in the funeral home. You won't believe what's hidden inside it or who's about to find it. And that is chapter 1 of The Viper.
Wow. Very cool.
You have the greatest elevator pitches ever, Brad Meltzer.
That's awesome. So what
no,
is...
but listen, you know me well enough to know, like, that's the plot. Okay, great. Hopefully you turn some pages and that's great. But what I love talking about is the research, right? Like, is all the real facts that I pack in there. So you and I have spoken before. I've taken readers into the tunnels below the White House, the labyrinth below the Capitol. This one I was like, I want to do witness protection, right? Which is one of the hardest things to ever research. And why? Because what do you think of with witness protection? You think of the mob, right? You think of Tony Soprano. You think of Henry Hill at the end of Goodfellas. But that's the thing is, that's what witness protection was actually created for, to take down the mob. And it worked. It actually worked. Mobsters testified against other mobsters. They got nose jobs. They went to live in Colorado, and, you know, it worked. But here's the thing. It's not like crime ever stopped. So eventually new things started to thrive. Gangs started to thrive when the mobsters went away. So gang members became the biggest group in witness protection. And then 9/11 happened. We started going after terrorists. Terrorists became the biggest group in witness protection. You want to know that one of the biggest groups in witness protection right now, Pat? It's accountants. It's because data is king. So it's like it went from the toughest guys in the neighborhood in witness protection to like the nerdiest guys in the neighborhood in witness protection. But I promise you, when you read, like, you will never look at witness protection the same way again once you read The Viper.
Accountants. So Ben Affleck did a couple of movies involving him being an accountant, and he was an accountant for a lot of shady people. Is that why accountants are such a popular topic or a popular category for witness protection?
Of course, because accountants are the ones who actually know what's in the books.
Right.
That's it. You know what's in the books, man, you got trouble.
Is there a government accountant in witness protection? Because I think they'd probably be among the most likely suspects for it.
There's a government everything. In fact, in this book, not only do you meet the government accountant, but you meet the government mortician. And this is the part I'm most proud of, and I know you guys will like. I hope you will like the most is, you know, I do a lot of work with the USO. I have been all over the world entertaining our troops. When the war was winding down, you know, a decade ago, they were bringing six thriller writers every year to entertain the troops. And I got to go to Kuwait and Oman and Qatar, and they took me to Turkey and Cuba, all these places. And it was there I heard of Dover Air Force Base. And we all know Dover, even if you don't know the name of it. Dover's the place where when a soldier is killed in action, that flag-covered coffin comes off the plane and everyone salutes. And yes, that's where our soldiers go when they die, but it's also where when the space shuttle went down, all the astronauts' bodies went to Dover. When 9/11 happened, all the Pentagon victims went to Dover. And right now in Venezuela, all the CIA people, all our CIA agents all around the globe, if something goes sideways, their bodies go to Dover too, which means Dover's a place filled with secrets. and I love secrets. And so the morticians there will spend 12 hours rewiring someone's jaw, smoothing it over with clay, because a family wants to see their son in the coffin one last time. They'll rebuild someone's hand because someone wants to hold their son's hand one last time. These are the best of us working on the best of us, and I had unprecedented access to take readers into Dover and see what happens there.
Wow. I would, you don't think of that kind of thing, of bodies being reconstructed after their death. But it makes sense because nobody wants to see them all mangled, right?
What they call is they put them, if you step on a mine or something goes bad, they put you in a head wrap, right? And it looks like a mummy, but families don't believe it then. They don't believe their loved one is gone. And so you have these morticians who know that they're the last thing that can give closure. But to me, the most important lines in the whole book are the last lines I put in the book. And it's this line, it says, it's a military quote, and it says, the opening quote of the book says, "I don't believe in closure. I'm not sure we ever really get over anything." And, I wasn't going to tell, I'll just tell it to you because, I'll say it like this.
We'll just keep it between us. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but I didn't think we were actually going to go there, but whatever. I know you're this long, but I had a complicated relationship with my dad. Okay, we all do. It's a complicated thing. And my dad, when I graduated college, I changed my home address, and all my mail got forwarded, and I quickly got $40,000 of credit card bills that I had never opened. That's how my dad was paying for me to go through college, and all the debt, he was those ads they give every college student that says, sign up for a credit card. My dad said yes to all of them. And they told me the only way out of this debt, which is, by the way, such a dumb plan, because a credit card is like a 22% interest rate. And, a loan in college for me back then, they would give me a 1% loan. But they said the only way out of this debt, Brad, is you got to testify against your father, report him for fraud. It was illegal what he was doing. And I'm like, I'm not ratting out my own father. So we make deals with everyone. We make payment plans, and it all becomes quicksand, becomes solid ground. I figure it out. But here's the part I missed in that story, is that and I said this story at my dad's funeral, but when my dad died, I said, my dad was little. He used to get beat up by his own father, who was a boxer in the military in World War II. And I know my dad used to jump in front of my uncle and take the hits for him because he wanted to make sure my uncle wasn't hit, his younger brother. I know he jumped in front of his own mother and took the hits for her so she wouldn't get hit. And that's what my dad was trying to do for me, is take the financial hits so I didn't have to do it. He was trying to pay for college by taking these credit card debts. But I couldn't see any of that because I was so mad at all the headache and heartache he kept causing me. And the point of it simply is there's a line at the end of the book. It's a word I never heard of before. It's called pentimento. Never even know what it meant. But it's when paint on a canvas gets so old and brittle that it starts becoming transparent. You could see through it. So you can see the original pencil lines that the artist makes on the canvas. You can see the rough draft. You can see the mistakes. You can see the regrets, like a tree facing one way is now facing the other. And I realized, Pat, that we're all rough drafts, right? We all are filled with mistakes. We're filled with regrets. But you can't make a masterpiece without it. So to me, closure's overrated. What you got to do is accept your dad, accept your mom, love your family, love yourself for who you are. And of all the things that, as a thriller, that The Viper gave me some closure with my dad after he passed, and some forgiveness. And boy, do I owe that book for that.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so this book is again called The Viper. It's number 3 in a series. And what's coming up next with the I Am series for kids? You have more on that coming up?
I love you for it. Yeah, so we're doing, I really wanted to do a book about empathy, and I wanted to do a book about leadership. So the next 2 books we're doing are I Am Princess Diana, because my daughter loved her. And then after that, we're doing I Am Teddy Roosevelt. I was like, I need to do a strong leader and show, what leaders that take responsibility. And I love that. Teddy Roosevelt's all about responsibility.
How many books have you written, bro, in your life?
in my life, we're now almost at 60 with the Viper, which, I mean, listen, 40 of them are kids' books, so don't make me look like I'm so fast.
Not inflating the numbers. They're awesome.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
when you make them really short.
That's
and I don't know if you saw it, they announced yesterday, but they just announced yesterday that I am officially doing my next real book that's coming out is in April. I'm doing the team up of Superman and Spider-Man for DC and Marvel.
All right,
cool.
bro. How cool
that's
is
very
that?
cool.
We
Yeah,
know you're a
that's
big
fun.
fan. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, just one more thing. We have less than a minute left, but it's something else I wanted to bring up because we heard initially last year in the very beginning of the Trump administration that he was going to go to Fort Knox and really make sure, which went away for some reason. You have actually been there and they turned you away. Do you believe there's still gold in Fort Knox?
I do believe there's gold. I think it's not empty.
Like one bar?
No. What they did? Here's the actual answer: is we took it to pay off foreign nations that wouldn't take dollars. That's what we used some of it for. And I think we borrowed it and put it back and borrowed it and put it back. So is there gold? Yes. Is it all there? Why are we not asking?
Right. All right, Brad. Best place to get the Viper. Where would that be?
Go to your local bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can order right now. Amazon has a great deal on it.
Or BradMeltzer.com. Thanks, Brad. Talk to you again soon.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.